Welcome to The Explainer. So I want you to think about this for a second. Right now, you and I probably have access to more environmental data, climate science, and research than a 1990s supercomputer could have ever even dreamed of. Seriously, we are practically swimming in information about our planet. But despite having this massive mountain of data at our fingertips, we still struggle to take meaningful action. Why is that? Well, we're going to explore that exact disconnect today by diving into an absolutely incredible initiative. It's called EarthSTARS, Strategies, Music, Environmental Actions. Okay, let's just quickly look at our roadmap. We're going to start by unpacking the information action gap. Then we'll look at bridging knowledge with agency, explore the professional SongLAB engine, talk about empowering our multicultural students, and wrap up with the Region 5 demonstration pilot. All right, Section 1, the information action gap. We rely so heavily on facts, reports, spreadsheets, the whole shebang to communicate these environmental crises. We kind of just assume that if people only knew the data, they'd automatically take action. But let's be real, human beings aren't just logic machines. Knowing a terrifying statistic on a spreadsheet is definitely not the same thing as actually caring about it. You can literally memorize a fact without feeling a single emotion. And on top of that, caring isn't the same as feeling the agency to act. You could be deeply, deeply worried about an issue, yet feel completely paralyzed by it. So the big question is, how do we get from a mountain of cold data to real, on-the-ground human change? That brings us to Section 2. Bridging knowledge with agency. So if facts, policies, and raw science only inform us, we really need a mechanism that actually moves us. And historically, the single most powerful tool for moving human beings, culture and narrative. EarthSTARS is proposing we bring humanity's oldest tool for connection right to the forefront of the modern environmental conversation. And that tool is music. Now, this isn't just some nice, abstract, feel-good idea. The National Institutes of Health actually notes that music is a literal biological shortcut to human connection. It activates brain structures tied to sensation, movement, and emotion, which promotes genuine social bonding. When we're totally overwhelmed by bad news, art is what restores our human agency. This realization creates a highly actionable pipeline. It's a 4-step mantra that basically forms the entire backbone of the EarthSTARS model. Step 1 is science, which gives us the necessary knowledge. Step 2 is story, giving that knowledge real meaning. Step 3 is song, translating that meaning into a deep, shared emotional connection. And finally, Step 4 is creativity, which turns that connection into actual human agency. It literally walks us all the way from a cold, hard data point to a fully mobilized community. Moving right along to Section 3, the professional SongLAB engine. Now, you might be wondering, how do we actually build this? And we need to be crystal clear here. We are not talking about writing some generic, cheesy school jingle. No way. I want you to picture a serious cinematic recording environment. You've got top-tier microphones, highly accomplished adult musicians, and professional producers all sitting in the exact same room as environmental scientists and local community storytellers. They're engaging with authentic facts about things like living soil and fresh water. But here's the kicker. The scientists don't dictate the song. They hand over the stories, and the artists are given total freedom to interpret that human experience into original, culturally resonant music. And if you're sitting there wondering if this model actually has a proven track record, you can rest easy. This initiative is built on over 2 decades of hands-on international expertise. It all started way back in 2000 with Sponsor Kids charities. Then, throughout the 2010s, their Peace Journey programs operated across 15 different countries. In the 2020s, they actually curated 6 professional SongLAB retreats with world-class musicians. So today, they're taking all of that massive, real-world expertise in youth engagement and professional music creation and injecting it directly into environmental education. Let's jump into Section 4, empowering our multicultural students. Once the professional model proves just how powerful this creative process is, it translates perfectly to education. This demonstration specifically focuses on empowering middle and high school multicultural students. They aren't just sitting passively at desks. They are given the tools to step outside and investigate real environmental issues. Think about them examining the health of urban community gardens or testing the actual water quality of Lake Michigan. Then they use music, story, and creativity to literally find their own voice within the larger environmental narrative. We are actively shifting away from the old, tired model of a passive audience just memorizing facts in a classroom or doom-scrolling endlessly on their phones. Instead, we're seeing the rise of active creators. We're talking about multicultural students representing authentic, real-world diversity, out in beautiful outdoor spaces, holding instruments, and writing original lyrics. They aren't just observing the science, they are actively participating in it. Now, obviously, we can't really talk about modern creativity without taking a quick second to address technology. Artificial intelligence is an absolutely incredible tool. It's fantastic for sifting through massive amounts of data or running complex climate modeling. But here's the thing. AI can never replace human authorship. It just can't replicate lived emotion, true consent, and the beating heart of genuine community stories. Those elements, they remain uniquely, beautifully human. And that brings us to our final part, Section 5, Region 5 Demonstration Pilot. So how does this grand vision become a measurable, boots-on-the-ground reality? Well, the timing for this is very intentional. They are targeting the 2026 to 2028 school year to start a 2-year demonstration pilot. Why exactly then? Because that perfectly aligns with Illinois' public school mandate to provide climate change instruction. They are currently looking at a potential partnership with the well-established Illinois Green Schools Project. The goal is that by 2028, they'll publish an annual learning and impact report to transparently measure the growth in critical thinking and community action. But it's important to note that Illinois is intended to be the demonstration, not the final destination. This whole thing is being built as an open, observable laboratory through the EPA Region 5 Learning Network. This network covers a really massive geographical footprint, including Illinois, Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. Let's look at how this actually scales across that entire region. It follows a super logical 5-step progression. First, surrounding states can initially watch the Illinois pilot in real time. Second, they learn from the transparent data being published. Step 3, they start to contribute their own local stories. Step 4, they prepare their local educators. And finally, Step 5, they replicate the model. Because let's be honest, a Michigan SongLAB should sound like Michigan, right? It should reflect its own unique communities and ecology. This structured approach proved the program is completely doable and highly scalable. The crucial takeaway is captured absolutely perfectly in this core philosophy. Scientists tell us what is happening. Communities tell us what it means. Artists help us feel why it matters. Young people help imagine what happens next. I mean, that quote is just a beautiful crescendo, right? It perfectly encapsulates the collaborative philosophy of EarthSTARS. They're asking for diverse expertise, from environmental scientists to universities, philanthropy, and indigenous partners to all come together to fund and build this connective architecture. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought. The Earth needs stars. Rise with us. Just think about what actually becomes possible when we put the absolute rigor of science and the emotional power of art in the exact same room. It doesn't just inform people, it actually activates them. So how will your community join this movement? The music is already starting. I highly encourage you to explore the source materials to learn more. Thanks so much for learning with me today.